Dan, it's Hall of Fame golfers everywhere you look around here at the PNC Championship. Annika is so pleased to join us here now, and we were just talking about Will during the break. You're trying to keep up with Will. What's it like trying to keep up with an energetic teenager like that?
Well, he is energetic, and he's very, very passionate about it, and I'm getting all kinds of reports from the fans and the spectators. They're telling me what he's doing, so I got the full report. He's like, well, hit it to 6 foot, he made the putt. I said, well, I hit it to 50, and I missed the putt. So here we go. I'm really looking forward to playing with him the next 2 days.
You were one of the all-time stoic players out there on the LPGA Tour, PGA Tour, no matter where you played. Will kind of exposes himself a little bit more to people and has a little bit more fun outwardly than you had perhaps inside when you were competing. When you watch him, do you learn anything from the way he goes about his business at such a young age that perhaps you could have done, or would you never have been that great if you allowed yourself to run around like Will does?
Well, I think that's just his personality. He's got it from his dad, from Mike. He's a lot more outgoing and, a little more bubbly. I was, like you said, a little bit more stoic, focused on what I had to do. I'm not going to question my career. It worked for me. I love watching him. He's just, he brings a lot of energy out there, and he has a lot of fun, and I just want him to be him. I want him to play his game and do what he likes and do it his way. My way worked for me, but it's not for everybody. So it's kind of fun to have the mix of us, because I see some of it in him that comes from me, but then I see a lot from Mike. So it's just a fun combination. So as you know, as a parent, you never know what your kids are going to turn out like.
You told me years ago that when you are watching him play, it's a bit of a grind for you, but it is all the other players who are watching their kids. You also told me that the greater the player, the parent is, not the harsher the critic, but the tougher the eye is. So when you see Will play golf, what do you see?
I do see a lot. I see, a young man that really loves the sport, but I also want him to, like I said, do it his way. And, he focuses a lot on his short game. He has a lot of feel. I was more of a strategic player, more disciplined, and just more kind of, statistics and numbers. He's just like, whatever I feel today, that's what I'm doing, if it's going to be high or if it's going to be low. So he kind of goes with how he feels. And so if he asks for advice, I'll be there. But, I've learned the lesson the hard way is to stay quiet. If he doesn't want to hear it from me, then I'm going to stay away.
We see you all the time in the world of golf, but not all the time or enough of the time inside the ropes. We see you at a couple of NBC Sports Major Championships, the American Century Championship out in Tahoe and here at the PNC Championship in Orlando. When you go out to compete now versus when you were the best player on the planet, how would you compare the two?
Well, it's night and day. I'm still very competitive. Once I get inside the ropes, I'm competitive. I want to do well. I know what it's like to hit good shots and what it's supposed to feel like. It just doesn't happen as often anymore, even though I try quite hard, and it can be frustrating at times. But once I'm here, like a day-to-day, when the sun is shining, I'm having some good playing partners. I just try to enjoy the game, and, some good, some bad. And, sometimes I get too hard on myself. And, I haven't really played as much this year, so every time I'm teeing it up, I feel like I'm starting over. I never get into the tournament rhythm. So, but that's obviously by choice, and there's really not much to play out there. And I got some other things I'm doing, whether it's Annika Foundation or just being a mom and a wife. It takes a lot of time, and I enjoy that part.
It was literally the last thing I was going to ask you. We see you all the time in the world of golf. I saw you in Paris at the Olympic Games, and then we see you with the Solheim Cup. Clearly, you have a big impact on that. And also, you have your event on the LPGA and all the other things you do with your foundation. How important is it for you to not only be recognized as the best player in the history of the sport on the female side, but also someone who made a difference in this game that you love so much?
Well, of course, I'm very proud of my career and what I achieved on the course. But, now I'm in a different chapter in my life, and I love this part where I'm involved, like you mentioned, either the Olympics or the Annika Foundation. We have 12 global tournaments, so I work with several of the players, upcoming players, and some players have been on the LPGA that you would know of. It's just, I don't know, I love having my foot in the game and just kind of helping out, growing the game as much as possible. So, I really don't think about my game as much as obviously I used to, because that was the only thing that matters. Now other things are more important.
It's always great to spend time with you, Annika. Thank you.
Thank you, as always.